Rutgers, he can play both on and off the ball. I love his pacing, the way he plays the game. He's never rushed. He's never sped up. He controls the game, both with his ball handling and his playmaking. And he was really productive last season with Rutgers. Rutgers, as a whole, struggled this past season, but I don't think you can put that on him specifically. He was second among all freshmen in scoring last season, 19.6 points per game. So I think you could put him into the Washington Wizards right now and expect reasonably for him to be a contributing player very early in his career.
What's crazy is when I was researching for this segment, somebody, probably like Reddit or something, was like, how does Rutgers have two top 5 talents and they're not doing so well this season? Because sure enough, number 3 overall to the Hornets, you have another player out of Rutgers, Ace Bailey. What makes him worthy of this spot here, Kyle?
Yeah, I think, Amanda, this is kind of revelatory of where this draft is right now. There's a tier break. There's a top 3. Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper Jr., and Cooper Flagg, I think, are the clear top 3. So, I think for Charlotte, you've got Brandon Miller. Ace Bailey may be a little bit repetitive in terms of the skill set, but Bailey, I think, is just a talent that you want to bet on. He's 6'10". He's a smooth, crafty scorer. Played most of his freshman season as an 18-year-old, still very, very young. Crazy athlete, too. Reminds me a little bit of Brandon Ingram in terms of his ability to put the ball in the hole. Just a fantastic scorer. Brandon Ingram maybe with a little bit more athletic pop. So if I could sell you on Brandon Ingram with a little bit more athleticism, I think in a nutshell you would take him number 3 overall in this draft, and that's why I'm taking him at number 3 for the Charlotte Hornets.
I think the key word with Ace Bailey is upside. He's got a wider range of potential outcomes than Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper because the floor may be a little lower. And these are words we're going to use in the draft process, right? Upside, floor, things like that, all that scout speak. But the bottom line is the best case scenario for Ace Bailey is really, really high because he is a 6'9" plus wing. He is every bit as explosive athletically as Kyle said, and he's a tough shot maker. And those 3 things, that's an archetype of what is maybe in the highest demand in NBA roster construction today. So there are very legitimate star-type outcomes at play here. The problem is there's also some uncertainty about what the worst-case scenario could be. He's got a very low assist rate. He doesn't get to the rim quite as often as you would expect for such a great athlete, and the overall feel for the game can be a little bit questionable. So scouts are worried about those things, but there's no doubt if it all goes well, it could be a really, really good long-term thing. He had 39 points in a single game this year. He had 37. He had 30. So we've seen flashes of it. It's just about whether or not he can do it consistently. Now, when he's at his best, I've seen remnants of Tracy McGrady, but that's about 3 times in 30 so far this season. It's about what happens in those other 27 games.
I'm not too far from the control room, and when you said that comp, I heard, whoa, come in there. Let's go to the Pelicans at 4. Talking about a comp here, Kyle has him drafting a guy I've seen compared to Tyler Hero, Trey Johnson out of Texas. Adam, what do you think about that comp? And then, because you had such nice words to say about the Pelicans, how would you feel about him getting drafted there?
I don't hate the comp because he is an instant offense type scorer who is a tough shot maker and needs to pick it up on the defensive end of the floor. So I think there's a lot of validity to that. Thing you need to know about Trey Johnson is he's been a high-profile player throughout his entire high school career. He was the #1 ranked high school player in the country at one point, ended up finishing in the top 5. And all he did at Texas was exceed expectations. He came in, he put up huge scoring numbers, and he did it with more efficiency than we expected. He also proved to be a better passer than we thought. So you're talking about a 6'6" scoring guard and a tough shot maker. And this guy's wired to score. He's a worker. He loves the gym. And he's going to have a hard time if he goes into a situation where someone tells him he can't be aggressive offensively. But if you need immediate points, and let's face it, New Orleans, when Zion Williamson is inevitably out of the lineup with injury, they need points. So this fit wouldn't be quite as bad. And I think Trey Johnson has earned a place somewhere in the top 5.
Turns out Las Vegas has some of the hardest water in the country, which means softening it could have benefits for your family, both humans and pets. Brian Garcia and Alexi Robbins from Loyalty Plumbing, sponsoring this segment, are here to talk about reverse osmosis along with Buddy. How you doing? You guys, so good to have you here.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
thanks for having us.
What is reverse osmosis, first of all?
Reverse osmosis is pretty much drinking water that you can have underneath of the sink of a home, so that way you can have bottled quality water, so that way you're not having to buy so much water.
It's a lot less expensive than buying bottled water after bottled water.
Exactly.
And we talked about